I'm Ben.
And I'm Madison, and we're the co-directors. Oh. Well, maybe we're not the directors. No, we're not the directors.
All right, well, we're the directors again.
Excellent. This production of As You Like It, of course, written by
William Shakespeare.
And performed by the GW Shakespeare Company. Okay, I guess I will continue. So this show is taking on the a sort of punk aesthetic mixed with the intersection of disability and gender. So the kind of subtext for the show is this idea of the cripple punk movement, that there is no right way to be disabled, and we reject the idea of disabled people solely being a source of either pity or inspiration to others. They exist both within their disabled identity and beyond it. And I think this is a really great show to showcase that with the way that characters demand agency and the disabled person charges the narrative and is not the butt of the joke. So that's kind of like the themes of the show, and then we'll go on to warnings and triggers.
Yeah, so just some logistics. Behind you, the same way you came in, is the exit, and back down that hallway are the restrooms. Left is men's, right is women's.
There's also a gender-neutral restroom over by the women's restroom.
Perfect.
And then some sensory warnings. We do have music accenting the show. There is a speaker right over there, so if you feel inclined to move so as that is not a sensory overload, you can either shift to another seat. We also have the foyer that you came through right outside the theater if you need to take a moment for any sensory reasons. We do have one brighter moment of light here center stage, but it shouldn't be too overwhelming. No flashing lights, but there will be some slowly color changing lights. And then triggers?
Yeah, so content warnings, some ableism and some general discrimination, as well as domestic violence, and physical intimacy.
All
right, and also going out this weekend, FPP is doing Rent in the Vern Black Box. And we also have concessions, which are available intermission in the foyer.
And you can also, over by concessions, learn more about the role of disability in the show and how to get connected with the disabled community on campus.
Thank you.
And enjoy the show.
Are you forgetting something?
Oh, I am forgetting something. How silly of me.
As I remember, Adam, it was upon this fashion, bequeathed me but a poor 1,000 crowns by will, and, as thou sayest, charged my brother to breed me well upon his blessing. And there begins my sadness. My brother Jaques keeps at school, and report speaks goldenly of his profit. For my part, he keeps me rustically at home, or, speak you more properly, stays me here at home unkept. For call you that keeping? For a gentleman of my birth, that differs not from the stalling of an ox. But I, his brother, gain nothing under him, but growth, for the which his animals upon his dunghills are as much bound to him as I. He makes me feed with his hinds, bars me the place of a brother, and as much as in him, minds my gentility with my education. This is it which grieves me, Adam, and the spirit of my father, which I believe is within me, begins to mutiny against his servitude. Though I yet know no wise remedy to avoid it.
Orlando! Yonder comes your brother.
Go apart, Adam, and thou shalt see how he will shake me up.
Now, sir, what make you here?
Nothing, sir. I'm not taught to make anything.
What mar you then, sir?
Marry, sir, I'm helping you to mar that which God created. A poor, unworthy brother of yours with idleness.
Marry, sir, be better employed and be not a while.
Shall I keep your hogs and eat husks with them? What prodigal portion have I spent to come to such penury as this?
Know you where you are, sir?
Oh, sir, very well, here in your orchard.
Know you before whom, sir?
I better than him I am before knows me. I know that you are my brother, and in the gentle condition of blood, so should you know me. The courtesy of nations allows you my better, in that you are the firstborn. But that same tradition takes not away my blood, were there 20 brothers betwixt us. I have as much of my father in me as in you, albeit I confess your coming before me is nearer unto his reverence.
What, boy?
Come, elder brother, you are too young in this.
What, wilt thou lay hands on me, villain?
I am no villain. I am the youngest son of Sir Roland de Bois. He is my father, and he is thrice the villain who says such a man begots villains. Wert thou not my brother, I would not remove this hand from thy neck to the other and pull out thy tongue for saying so. Thou hast railed on thyself.
Be patient. Let me for your father's remembrance be out of accord.
I will not, till you hear me. My father charged you in his will to give me a good education. You have trained me like a peasant. The spirit of my father grows strong in me, will no longer endure it. Therefore, either give me such exercises as I may become a gentleman, or give me the poor a lottery by will defined to me, without I will go and buy my fortunes.
What wilt thou do, beg? When that is spent, I will not long be troubled with you. You shall have some part of your will. I pray you, leave me.
I will no longer offend you than becomes me for my good.
Get you with him, you old dog.
Is old dog my reward? Most true, I have lost my teeth in your service. God be with your predecessor, he would not have spoken such a word.
Is it even so? Begin you to grow upon me? I will give no 1,000 crowns. 'Twill be a good way, and tomorrow the wrestling is.
Good morrow to your worship.
Mr. Charles, what is the new news at the new court?
Oh, there's no news but the old news, sir. And that the old duke has been banished by his younger brother, the new duke. And some loving servants have accompanied him in voluntary exile, whose lands and revenues enrich the new duke, and so they give them good leave to wander.
Can you tell if Rosalind, the duke's daughter, be banished with her father?
Ah, no, sir, for the duke's daughter, her cousin, so loves her, having been bred from the cradle since birth, that she would have either died to stay behind or gone into exile with him. She's at the estate and no less beloved of her uncle than his own daughter, for no two cousins loved as they did.
And where will the old duke live?
Oh, they say he's in the forest of Arden, and many, many men are with him, so much so that they say he's like the old Robin Hood of England.
What, you wrestle tomorrow before the new duke?
Marry, do I, sir? I came here to acquaint you with the matter. I am given to understand that your younger brother Orlando hath a disposition to come disguised against me to try a foe. Tomorrow, sir, I wrestle for my credit, and he that escaped me without some broken limb shall acquit him well. Your brother is but young and tender, and loath would I be to foil him. And therefore, I've love and respect for you. I came here to acquit you withal, that either you might stay his indictment, or brook him such disgrace that he shall escape to. For it is a thing of my own searching altogether against my will.
Charles, I thank thee for thy love to me, which thou shalt find it most kindly requite. I had myself notice of my brother's purpose herein, and have by underhand means labored to dissuade him from it, but he is resolute. I'll tell thee, Charles, it is the most stubborn young fellow, a secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. So use thy discretion. I had as lief thou didst break his neck as his finger, and thou wert best to look to it. He will practice against thee by poison, entrap thee by some treacherous device, and never leave thee until he hath taken thy life by some indirect means or other. For I assure thee, and almost with tears I speak it, there's not one so young and so villainous this day living. I speak but brotherly of him, but should I describe him to thee as he is, I must look pale and wonder.
I am heartily glad I came to you, sir. Tomorrow, I'll give him his payment. If not, I'll never wrestle for prize money more. And so, God keep your worship.
Farewell, good Charles. Now will I stir this gamester. I hope I shall see an end to him, for my soul, yet I know not why, hates nothing more than he. He's gentle, never schooled, yet learned, full of noble device of all sorts, enchantingly beloved, and so much so in the heart of the world, and especially of my own people, who best know him that I am altogether misprized. But it shall not be long. This wrestler shall clear all. Nothing remains but that.
pray thee, Rosalind, sweet my coz be merry.
Dear Celia, I show more mirth than I am mistress of, and would you yet I were merrier? Unless you could teach me to forget a banished father.
Herein I see thou lovest me not with the full weight that I love thee. If my uncle, thy banished father, had banished thy uncle, the Duke my father, so we had still been together, I could teach my love to take thy father for mine. So wouldst thou, if the truth of thy love were as righteously tempered as mine is to thee.
I will forget the condition of my estate to rejoice in yours.
You know my father hath no child, but truly when he dies, thou shalt be his heir. For what he hath taken from thy father perforce, I shall render thee again in affection. By mine honor I will, and when I break that oath, let me turn monster. Therefore, my sweet Rose, my dear Rose, be merry.
Well, from henceforth I will, cousin. And by sport, let me see. What think you of falling in love?
Marry, I prithee do to make sport withal, but love no man in good earnest, nor no further in sport than with the safety of a pure blush, so thou mayst in honor come off again.
What shall be our sport then?
Let us sit and love the good housewife Fortune from her wheel, that her gifts may be bestowed equally.
I would we could do so, for her gifts are mightily misplaced.
'Tis true. For though she makes fair, she scarce makes honest, and though she makes honest, she makes very ill-favoredly.
Nay, now thou goest from Fortune's office to nature. Fortune deals in gifts of the world, not in the lineaments of nature.
No. When nature hath made a fair creature, may she not by fortune fall into the fire? Though nature hath given us wit to flout at fortune, hath not fortune sent in this fool to cut off the argument?
Indeed, when there's fortune too hard for nature's wit, making nature's natural to cut her off of nature's wit.
Peradventure, this is not fortune's work neither, but nature's, who hath perceiveth our natural wits too dull to reason of such goddesses, and hath sent this natural for our whetstone. For the dullness of the fool is the whetstone of the wits. How now, wit, whither wander you?
Mistress, you must come to your father.
Were you made the messenger?
No, by mine honor, but I was bid to come for you.
Where learned you that oath, fool?
Of a certain knight that swore by his honor the pancakes were good and the mustard was not. No, I'll stand to it. The pancakes were not and the mustard was good, yet was not the knight forswore.
How prove you that in the great heap of your knowledge?
I marry, unmuzzle your wisdom.
Stand you both forth, stroke your chins and swear by your beards that I am dishonest.
If we had beards, thou art.
By my knavery, if I had it, then I were. But if you swear by that is not, then are you not forsworn? No more was this knight swearing by his honor, for he never had any.
Here comes good Monsieur Lebeau,
With his mouth full of news.
which he will put on us as pigeons feed their young.
Oh, then we shall be newsprint.
All the better we shall be, the more marketable. Fair ladies, you have lost so much good sport!
As wit and fortune will.
Or the destiny's decree.
Well said, that was laid on with a trowel.
Fair ladies, you have lost good wrestling, which you have lost sight of.
Tell us the manner of this wrestling.
I'll tell you the beginning, but if you do please your leaderships, you shall see the end, where the best is yet to do. The eldest of three wrestled with Charles, the Duke's wrestler, and in a moment, Toby broke through his ribs. Slaughter they lie, the poor old man, their father, taking such pitiful dole over them, with the audience taking reason and weeping.
Thus may society grow wiser every day. 'Tis first time ever I heard the breaking of ribs was sport for ladies.
You must wrestling.
Oh, yonder, sure they are coming. Let us stay and see it.
Come now, since the youth will not be entreated, his own perils on his forwardness.
Is yonder the man?
Even he, madam.
Alas, he is too young, yet he looks successfully.
How now, daughter and cousin? Have thou crept hither to see the wrestling?
If it please you give us leave.
You will take a little delights in it, I can tell you, for there's such odds in the man. In pity of the challenger's youth, I did fain dissuade him. But he will not be moved. Speak to him, ladies. See what you can do.
Oh, call him hither, good Monsieur Beau.
Do so, I will not be by.
Monsieur the challengers, the ladies call upon you.
I attend them with all respect and honor.
Good young sir, have you challenged Charles the wrestler?
I come but in as others do to try against him the strength of my youth.
You have seen the cruel proof of this man's strength. If you saw yourself with your eyes or knew yourself with your judgment, the fear of your adventure would counsel you to a more equal enterprise. Therefore, just think of your own safety. I pray you, for your own sake, give over this attempt.
Do, young sir, your reputation shall not therefore be misprized. We might make it our suit to the Duke that the wrestling might not go forward.
I pray you, burden me not with your heavy thoughts, where I confess me much guilty to deny such excellent and intelligent ladies any such thing, but let your kind eyes and gentle wishes go with me to my trial, wherein if I be foiled, there is but one shamed who is never gracious, if killed, but one dead who was willing to be so. I do my friends no harm, for I have none to lament me, or the world no injury, for in it I have nothing. Only in the world do I take up a place which may be better filled when I have made it empty.
The little strength I have, were it with you.
And mine to eke out hers.
Fare you well, sir. Pray heaven I be deceived in you.
Your heart's desires be with you.
Come! What is this young gallant that is so desirous to lie with his mother earth?
Ready, sir, but his will hath in it more modest working.
You shall try but one fall.
No, I warrant your grace, that while he may be lucky enough to have a first, he shall not be so lucky as to have a second.
And you mean to mock me after? You should not mock me before, but come your ways!
Come here! It's over! What a hell, boy! It's over! It's over! Come here! Come here, you cheap bastard! Come here! You're dead!
Yes, I beseech your grace, I am not yet well breathed.
How doth thou, Charles?
He cannot speak, my lord.
Bear him away. What is thy name, young man?
Orlando, sir. I am the youngest son of Sir Roland de Bois.
If only thou had been born to some man else, for the world esteemed thy father honorable, but I find him still mine enemy. You would have much better pleased me with this deed if you had been descended from some other house, but fare thee well, thou art gallant.
Rosalind, were I my father, would I do this?
I am more proud to be Sir Roland's son, his youngest son, and would not trade that calling to be adopted heir to Frederick.
My father loved Sir Roland, and all the world was of my father's mind.
Gentle cousin, let us thank him and encourage him. My father's rough and envious disposition sticks me at heart. Oh, sir, you have well deserved. If you do but keep your promises in love, as you have exceeded all promise, your mistress shall be happy.
Orlando, wear this for me. One out of many suits with fortune, though her hand lacks means. Shall we go, cousin?
Aye. Fare you well, fair gentlemen.
Can I not say I thank you? My better parts are all thrown down, and that which stands here up is but a quint and a mere lifeless block.
He calls us back. My pride fell with my fortunes. I will ask him what he will. You called me back, sir? You have wrestled well today and overthrown more than thine enemies. Farewell!
Oh, what passion hangs these weights upon my tongue! I could not speak, though she urged confidence. Oh, Orlando, thou art overthrown, or Charles, or something weaker.
Good sir! I do entreat to counsel you to leave this place. Albeit you have deserved high commendation, true applause, yet such the Duke is humorous.
I thank you for your warning, and, dear sir, tell me this. Which of the two daughters that here was at the wrestling was descended from the Duke?
Neither is his daughter, if you judge by their manners. However, the shorter is his daughter, and the other is the daughter of the banished Duke. And their loves are like the natural bond of sisters. But, sir, fare you well. In another world than this, I deserve more love and knowledge of your presence.
I rest much bound into you. Fare you well. Thus must I from the smoke unto this mother, from a tyrant duke unto a tyrant brother. Oh, but heavenly Rosalind!
Why, cousin? Why, Rosalind? Cupid have mercy, not a word.
Not one to throw a dog.
Nay, thy words are too precious to be cast away upon curs. Throw some of them at me. Come, lay me with reason.
There were two cousins laid up, one lame with reasons and the other mad without any.
But is all this for your father?
No, some of this is for my child's father. Oh, how full of briars is this working day world.
They're but burrs, cousin, thrown upon thee in holiday foolery. If we walk not in the trodden paths, our very skirts will catch them.
I could throw those burrs off my coat. These burrs are in my heart.
Hem them away.
I could cry hem and have him.
Come, wrestle with thy
I
affections.
take the better part of a wrestler than myself.
Oh, it is a good wish. You will try again in despite of a fall, but let us put these jests out of service and talk in good earnest. Is it possible, on such a sudden, you should fall into so strong a liking with old Sir Roland's youngest son?
The Duke, my father, loved his father dearly.
Doth that thereby ensue that you should love his son dearly? By that same chase, I should hate him, for my father hated his father dearly, yet I hate not Orlando.
Him not for my sake.
Why should I not? Doth he not deserve well?
Let me love him for that. Let you love him because I do.
With his eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste and get you from this place.
Me, uncle?
You, cousin, within these 10 days, if thou beest found so near our estate as 20 miles, thou will die for it.
Dear uncle, let the knowledge of my fault bear with me if I do hold intelligence or have acquaintance with mine own desires, if I do not dream or be not frantic, as I am sure I am not, then, dear uncle, never so much as in thought unborn did I offend your state.
Ah! Thus do all traitors if their purgation did consist in words. Theirs innocent as grace itself, let it suffice thee that I trust thee not.
Your mistrust cannot make me a traitor. Tell me whereon the likelihood depends.
They are their father's daughter, there's enough.
So was I when your highness took his dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lord, and if we did derive it from our friends, what's that to me? My father was no traitor. Look on me not so much to think my poverty is treacherous.
Let me speak.
Why, Celia, we stayed her for your sake, else with her father had she reigned along.
I did not then entreat to have her stay. It was your pleasure and your own remorse. If she be a traitor, why then so am I. We still have slept together, rose at an instant, learned, played, eat together, and wheresoever we went, like Juno's swans, still we wed coupled and inseparable.
She is too smooth for thee. Her subtleness, her silence, her very patience speak to the people, and they do pity her. Thou art a fool, she robs you of thy name, and thou wilt seem more virtuous and shine more bright when she is gone. Open not thy lips, firm and irrevocable is my doom, and I have passed upon her that she is banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. I cannot live without her company.
You are a fool, you niece. If you outstay your time, upon mine honor and the greatness of my word, thou wilt die.
Oh, my poor Rosalind, whither wilt thou go? Wilt thou change fathers? I will give thee mine, but I pray thee be not more grieved than I am.
I have more cause to be.
No, the Duke hath banished me, his daughter.
That he hath not.
No, hath not. Rosalind then lacks the love that teaches thee that thou and I am one. Shall we be sundered? No, let my father seek another heir. Therefore, let us devise to fly, whither to go, what to bring with us, and do not seek to take your change upon you, to bear your griefs yourself and leave me out. For now, by our heaven, by our sorrows pale, say what thou canst, I will go along with thee.
Why, whither shall we go?
To seek your father in the forest of Arden.
Alas, what danger there is, maids, as we are in danger, provoketh beauty, provoketh thieves sooner than gold.
I will put myself in poor and mean attire, the like do you, so we can pass along and never stare assailants.
But were it not better, because I am more than common told that I should suit myself in all points like a man? A gallant kirtle axe upon my thigh, a boar spear in my hand, and in my heart lie there what fears a woman's will. We shall have a swashing and martial outside, like so many of those other mannish cowards that do outface it with their semblances.
What shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I will have no worse name than Jove's own page, and so you shall look to me as Ganymede. And what shall you be called?
Something in reference to my state, no longer Celia, but Aliana.
Oh, cousin, what if we assailed to steal the foolish clown out of thy father's court? Would he not be a company to our travel?
They would go along the wide world with me. Leave me alone to woo them. Let's away and get our jewels and wealth together and devise the fittest time and safest way to hide from the pursuit that will be made from my flight. Let us go in content to liberty and not to banishment.
Come now, my co-mates and brothers in exile. Hath not old customs made life as sweet as painted pomp? Are not these woods filled with less peril than that of the envious courts? Here we feel but the penalty of Adam, sweet in his adversity, where, like the toad, ugly and venomous, shall wear but a precious jewel upon his head. Here we are free from public haunts, where we can find tongues in trees, books in running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. I would not change it.
Happy is your grace that can translate to the stubbornness of fortune.
Let's go and kill us some venison. Yet it irks me, these poor dappled fools being native to this desert land, with their confined forked head and their round haunches gored.
Indeed, my lord, the melancholy Jaques agrees with that, and in that kind swears he do more serf than your brother that hath banished you.
And did you leave him in this contemplation?
We did, my lord.
Take me to him. I love to cope him in these sullen fits, for he is full of matter.
I'll bring you to him straight.
Oh!
you. Memory of old Sir Roland. Why? What make you here? Why are you virtuous? Why do people love you? And wherefore are you gentle, strong, and valiant? Why would you be so fond to overcome the bonny prizer of the humorous Duke? Your praise has come too swiftly home before you. Know you not, to some kind of men, their graces serve them but as enemies? And no more do yours. Your virtues are sanctified and holy traitors to you. Oh, what a world is this? What is comely and venimsome that bears it?
Why, what's the matter?
Oh, unhappy youth. Come not within these doors. Within this roof, the enemy of all your graces lives. He hath heard your praises, and this night he means to burn the lodging where you used to lie, and you within it. And if he fail of that, he will have other means to cut you off. I've overheard him and his practices. This is no place. This house is but a butchery. Abhor it. Fear it. Do not enter it.
Why, whither, Adam, wouldst thou have me go?
No matter whither, so you come not here.
What, wouldst thou have me go and beg my food, or with a base and boisterous sword employs a thievish living on the common road? This I must do, but this I cannot do. Do how I can. I would rather subject myself to the diverted malice of a blood and bloody brother.
But do not so. I have 500 crowns, the thrifty hire I saved under your father. Take that, and he that doth the ravens feed, providently caters for the sparrow, be comfort to my age. Here's the gold, and all this I give to you. Let me be your confidant. I am strong and lusty, for in my youth I never did apply hot and rebellious liquors in my blood. Nor did not with unbashful forehead woo. Let me go with you. I'll give you the service of a younger man in all your business and necessities.
But come your ways, and we'll go along together, and ere we have thy youthful wages spent, we'll light upon some settled low content.
Go on, and I will follow thee to the last gasp with truth and loyalty. From 17 years until now, almost 80 here lived I. But now, I will live here no more. In 17 years, many their fortune seek, but at 80, it is too late a week. And yet, fortune could not recompense me better than to die well. Jupiter, how weary are my spirits. I cannot for my spirits if my legs were not weary.
I could find it in myself to disgrace my man's peril and cry like a woman. But I must comfort the weaker vessel. Therefore take courage, good Aliena.
I pray you bear with me. I can walk no further.
For my part, I'd rather bear with you than bear you. Yet I think I should bear no cross if I did bear you, for I think you have no money in your purse.
Well, this is the forest of Arden.
Aye. Now am I in Arden, the more fool I. When I was at home, I was in a better place, but travelers must be content.
I'd be so good, Touchstone.
Silvius.
Look you who comes here. A young man and an old and solemn talk.
That is the way to make you scorn you still.
No, thou, Corin, thou canst guess, thou art a lover.
Yes, I have loved ear still.
No, Corin, being old, thou cannot guess. Thou cannot guess. Thou cannot guess.
Oh, I have loved into 1,000 that I have forgotten.
No, Corin. Thou hast not loved. Thou hast not seen thy woman's praise and ever sighed upon a midnight pillow. Thou hast not loved. Oh, Phoebe! Phoebe! Phoebe.
Alas, poor outcast, and searching of thy wound, I have by hard adventure found my own.
Thy mine.
Oh, one of you question yon man to be for gold and will give us any food.
A hollow, you clown! You fool. He's not thy kinsman.
Who calls?
You're better, sir.
Oh, so they're very wretched.
Peace, I say. Good even to you, friend.
And to you, sir, and to you all.
Prithee, Forster, if love or gold can in this desert place buy entertainment, bring us to a place where we might rest and feed ourselves. Travel much, oppressed and faint for succor.
Oh, fair sir, I pity you that I cannot relieve your famines, for I do not chew the fleeces that I graze. My boss is of churlish disposition, and little wrecks on his way to heaven by doing deeds of hospitality. By reason of his absence, there is no more you may feed on here, but go with me. In my voice, most welcome shall you be.
I prithee, sir, if it be in honesty with you, let us buy the field, flock, and cottage, and have you to pay for it with us.
And we will mend thy wages. I like this place, and willingly we could waste all our time in it.
Surely the thing is to be sold. Well, go with me. If upon report you like the soil, the profit, and the way of life, I will your very faithful feeder be, and buy it with your gold right suddenly.
Come all ye merry scamps, fleeing from the tourney to where there is no heraldry.
Here shall be seen no enemy but winter and rough weather.
More, I prithee, more.
It will make you melancholy, Monsieur Jaques.
I thank it. More, I prithee, more. I can suck melancholy from a song as a weasel sucks eggs. More, I prithee, more.
My voice is ragged. I know I cannot please you with my poems.
I do not desire you to please me. I do desire to listen.
So more to request than to please myself.
Well then, if ever I thank any man, I'll thank you. But that they call compliment is like the encounter of two dog apes. And when a man thanks me heartily, methinks I've given him a penny, and he renders me the beggarly thanks. Come, reform. And you that will not, hold your tongues.
Well, I'll end the song. Sirs, cover the while, the Duke will drink under this tree. He hath been all day to look you.
And I've been all this day to avoid him. He's too disputable for my company. I think of as many matters as he, but I give heaven thanks and make no boast of them. Come, Warble, come.
Frederick followed through with no bother.
To make all songbirds choke each time they spoke.
What a jealous little brother.
Trying to rot our greenwood tree, you'll still fight better than me. Being the Duke doesn't mean you're better than the rest of us.
Or else you would have protected us, and we would not have defected thus.
I'll give you a verse to this note that I made yesterday in despite of my intention.
And I shall perform it.
If ever it do pass, that any man turn ass, leaving his wealth and ease, a stubborn will to please. Dukedom, dukedom, dukedom. Here shall he see, long stands our greenwood tree, where the songbird sings. Away from me. Thank you.
What's that? Dukedom?
Oh, 'tis a Greek invocation to call fools into a circle.
Hey.
I'll go sleep if I can. If not, I'll rail against all.
Now go seek the Duke. His banquet is prepared.
Orlando! I can go no further. I die for food. Here lie I down and measure out my grave.
Oh, how now, Adam?
Live a little. Comfort a little. Cheer thyself a little.
If this forest yields anything untamed, I will either be food for it or bring it food for thee. Thy conceit is nearer death than thy powers. For my sake, be comfortable. Hold death a while at arm's length. I will be with thee presently. And if I bring thee not something to eat, then I shall give thee leave to die. But if thou diest before I come, thou hast made a mocker of my labor. Come, I shall bear you to some shelter, and there thou shalt not die for lack of dinner, if there be any food in this desert. Cheerly, good Adam.
As a man.
My lord, he has been even now gone hence. Here was he merry, hearing of a poem.
If he compacted jars becomes musical, there will surely be discord in the spheres. Go seek him out. Tell him I will speak to him.
He saves my labor by his own approach.
How now? What a life you live where your poor friends must woo your company. You look merrily.
A fool. A fool. I met a fool in the forest. A motley fool. Oh, miserable world. As I do live by food, I met a fool in the forest who laid them down and basked them in the sun and railed on Lady Fortune in good terms. In good set terms, and yet a motley fool. Quoth they, how the world wags. 'Tis but an hour ago since it was 9, and 'twill be an hour more till it is 11. And so from hour to hour we ripe, and then from hour to hour we rot, and thereby hangs a tale. When I did hear the fool thus moral on time, my lungs did crow like a rooster. That a fool should be so deep contemplative. I did laugh sans intermission an hour by their dial. Oh, a noble fool, a worthy fool. Motley's the only wear.
What fool is this?
Oh, most worthy fool. In their brain, which is as dry as the remainder biscuit after a voyage, they have strange places crammed with observation, the which they vent in mangled forms. Oh, that I were a fool. I am ambitious for a motley coat.
Forbearance, eat no more!
I've eaten none yet.
Nor shalt not, till necessity be served.
Of what kind should this cup come of?
Art thou thus boldened, man, by distress, or else a rude despiser of good manners, where in civility thou seemest so empty?
If you touch my vein at first, the thorny point of bare distress has taken from me the show of smooth civility. Yet I am inland bred and know some nurture. But forbear, I say! He dies! Touches any of this food till I and my affairs be answered.
And you will not be answered with reason. I must die.
What would you have? Your gentleness shall force more than your force shall move to you to gentleness.
I almost died for food. Let me have it.
Sit and eat. Welcome to our table.
Speak you so gently? Pardon me, I pray you. I thought that all things here had been chaotic, and therefore put I on the countenance of stern commandment, but whatever you are, that in this forest inaccessible, under the melancholy boughs, lose and neglect the creeping hours of time. If ever you have looked on better days, if ever been where bells have knolled to church, if ever sat at a good man's feast, if ever from your eyelid wiped a tear and know it 'tis to pity and be pitied, let gentleness my strong enforcement be, in the which hopes I blush and hide my knife.
It is true that we have seen better days, and with holy bells been knolled to church, where we have sat at good man's feasts, and wiped our eyes of sacred pities that has engendered. So sit you down in gentleness, and take into command any help that we have, so your wanting may be ministered.
But forbear a little while longer, whilst I, like a doe, go to find my fawn and give it food. There is a poor old man who many a step hath limped behind me in pure love. Until he be fed, I shall not touch a bit.
Go seek him out. We will waste nothing till you return.
I thank you for your gentleness.
See, we are not all alone, unhappy. This wide and universal theater presents more woeful pageants than the scene in which we play.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one person in their time plays many parts. Their acts begin 7 ages. At first, the infant mewling and puking into the nurse's arms, and then the whining school kid with satchel and shining morning face, creeping like a snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like a furnace, with a woeful pallid to another eyebrow. And then the soldier, full of strange oaths, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking a bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, and pear round belly with good capon lines, with eye severe and chin of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so they play their part. The 6 age slips into the lean and slipper pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. Their youthful hose, well saved, now a world too wide for their shrunk shake. And their big booming voice, turning a can-torch childish treble, pipes and whistles in their sound. Last scene of all, that ends this strange eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Welcome. Sit down, your venerable burthen, and let him feed.
I thank you most for him.
So how do you need? I scarce can speak to thank you for myself.
Welcome, fall to. I will not trouble you, as yet to question you about your fortune. So how does some music, good cousin, play?
Try to blow thou winter wind, thou art not so unkind.
As man's ingratitude heartless and bold.
Thy tooth is not so keen, because thou art not seen.
But my pain is real, not just a charade.
My heart's all warped just like the glass that bears the pains of the past. I catch a glimpse in the mirror.
It couldn't be clearer. I grasp a fragment of myself. When did this face become myself?
Here with friends around a well-stocked table, once thought to be an untold fable.
All of us numb to the world couldn't feel enough. Hearts submerged in an endless wave of life.
Hoping no one with keen eyes would call our bluff.
Blow, blow, winter winds, we're with you.
Let's keep the shallow pain going a little longer, mourning what we had, rejoicing what was soon.
Hoping the next morning will find us a little stronger. If you are good Sir Roland's son, as you have whispered faithfully to me you are, and by mine eyes do his effigies do see, truly limited in living in thy face. Be you welcome here, for I am the Duke who loved your father, the residue of his fortune. Go to my cave. Good old man, you are as welcome as your friend is. Present thy arm, and give me that hand, and let's by your fortunes understand. cannot be. But if I would better part made mercy, should I not seek an absent argument of my revenge, thou present? But look to it, find out thy brother wherever so he be, seek him by candle, bring him dead or living within these 12 months, or turn from taking a living in thy territory. Thy lands and all things that doth call thine, worth seizure will be seized into our hands till thou canst quit thee from thy brother's mouth of what thee holds against thee.
Oh, that your highness knew my heart in this. I never loved my brother in my life.
More villain thou. Well, push him out the door, have my officers of such a nature as have an extent upon his house and home. Do this expediently and turn him going.
Hang there my person, witness of my love, and thou, thrice-crowned queen of night, survey, with thy eye from thy sphere above, thy huntress name, whom my dear life doth sway. O Rosalind, these trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts all character, that every eye which on this forest looks shall see thy virtue witnessed everywhere. Run, run, Orlando, carve on every tree, the fair, the caring, and indescribable she.
How do you like this punk life, Touchstone?
Truly, punk, in and of itself, it is a good life, but in respect that it is an exile life, it is not. In respect it is a solitary life, I like it very well, but in respect it is a private life, it is a very vile life. In respect it is in the fields, it pleaseth me, but as it is not in the land of wealth, it is tedious. As it is a spare life, look you, it suits my humor well, but as there is no more plenty in it, it goes much against my stomach. Hast any philosophy in thee, punk?
Oh, not so more that I know that when one sickens, the worse at ease they are. That good pastures make fat sheep. The property of rain is to wet. Property of fire is to burn. The great cause of night is the lack of sun. And all that I have known yonder.
Such a one is a natural philosopher. Wast ever thou wealthy?
Nay, truly.
Then thou art damned.
Nay, I hope.
Nay, truly, thou art damned all like an ill-roasted egg all on one side.
For not inherited wealth. Your reason?
Why, if thou never wast wealthy, thou never sawest good manners. If thou never sawest good manners, then thy manners must be wicked, and wickedness is sin, and sin is damnation. Truly, thou art in a perilous state, cast away.
Oh, not away, Touchstone. Those that have good manners in high society are as ridiculous of those manners as the behavior of a country is most reprehensible at the courts. You told me you salute not, yet you kiss your hands. And would foresters be considered unqueenly if that were so?
Well, do not your rich hands sweat? And is not the grease of a mutton as wholesome as the sweat of a lamb? Shallow, shallow, another instance, I say, come.
Besides, our hands are hard.
Your lips will feel them the sooner. Come, another instance, I say.
You have too courtly a wit for me, Touchstone. I'll rest.
Wilt thou rest, damned? God make incision in thee, God have mercy on thee, thou art raw.
And would you have us perform surgery on our sheep? The affluent hands are perfumed with civet.
Most shallow man, learn of the wise, and perpend. Mend the instance ne'er-do-well.
Sir, I am a true laborer. I mend what I wear, I earn what I chew, and my deepest pride is to see my lambs graze and my sheep suck.
There is another simple sin in you, to bring the ewes and the rams together and to offer to get your living by the copulation of cattle, to be a bawd to a bellwether, to betray a she-lamb of 12 months to a crooked, painted old coupledy ram out of all reasonable match. If thou beest not damned for this, the devil himself will have no shepherds. I cannot see how else thou shouldst escape.
Well, here comes Ganymede, my new friend's brother.
From the east to the west end, no jewel is like Rosalind. Her worth being mounted on the wind, through all the world bears Rosalind. All the pictures fairest mine are but not to Rosalind, that no fair be kept in mind but the fair of Rosalind.
I'll rhyme you, so 8 years, dinner, suppers, and sleeping hours accepted, it is the right butcherwoman's rank to market.
Out, fool.
For a taste. If a heart do lack a hind, let him seek out Rosalind. If a cat will after kind, so be sure will Rosalind. Winter garments must be lined, so must slender Rosalind. They that reap must sheaf and bind, then to cart with Rosalind, my bad. Sweetest nut hath sourest rind, such a nut is Rosalind. He the sweetest rose will find, must find love's prick and Rosalind. Truly, this is a very false gallop of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Out, fool, I found them on a tree.
Truly, the tree yields bad fruit.
Peace. Here comes my sister reading. Stand aside. There's thous at every sentence end. Will I, Rosalind, aright? Teaching all that read to know the quintessence of every sprite, heaven would and little show. Therefore, heaven nature changed that one body should be filled with all graces wide and large, nature presently distilled. Helen's cheek, but not her heart. Cleopatra's majesty, Atalanta's better part, sad Lucretia's modesty. Thus Rosalind of many parts by heavenly sided was devised of many faces, eyes, and hearts, to have the touches dearest prized. Heaven would that she these gifts should have, and to live and die her devotee.
O most gentle pulpiter, what a tedious homily of love have you wearied your petitioners withal, and never have cried, have patience, good people.
How now, friends? Forrester, go off a little. Go with him.
Come, comrades, let us make an honorable retreat, but not with bag and baggage, and with scrip and scrippage.
Didst thou hear these verses?
I did, and many more, though some had more feet than the verses could bear.
Oh, that's no matter. The feet might bear the verses.
Aye, but the feet were lame, and went therefore without the verses, or stood lamely in the verse.
But didst thou hear, without wondering why thy name should be hanged and carved upon these trees?
I was 7 out of the 9 days out of wonder before you came. Look here what I found on a palm tree.
Huh. Trow you who hath done this.
Is it a man?
And a chain that you once wore about his neck. Change you color?
Not right, prithee tell me who.
Oh, Lord. Lord, it is a hard matter for friends to meet, but mountains may be removed by earthquakes and so encounter.
Oh, I beg thee with the most petitionary vehemence, tell me who it is!
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful, most wonderful. And after that, wonderful, wonderful. And after that, all out of whooping.
Listen, dost thou not know, though I am dressed in all points like a man, that I am not a woman? Speak quickly, and appence, wouldst thou could stammer and pour this concealed man out of thy mouth as wine comes out of an arrow-mouthed bottle, either all at once or none at all. So I prithee, take the cork out of thy mouth, so I may drink thy tidings.
So you can put a man in your belly?
What manner of man is he? Is his head worth a hat?
It is young Orlando that tripped up the wrestler's heels and your heart both in an instant.
Nay, the devil take mocking. Speak, sad brow and true maid.
In faith, 'cause 'tis he.
Orlando. Alas the day! Oh, what shall I do with my doublet and hose? Whence didst thou see him? How didst thou part from him? What said he? Did he ask for me? How looked he? When didst thou leave him? When wilt thou see him again? Oh, tell me all in one word.
You must let me borrow Gargantua's mouth first. 'Tis a word too great a size for any mouth of this age's size. To say A and no to these particulars is more than to answer in a catechism.
Doth he know I am in this forest and dressed in all points like a man?
lucky as freshly as the day he wrestled. It is easier to count atoms than to resolve the propositions of a lover. But take a taste in my finding him, and relish with good observance. I found him under a tree, like a dropped acorn.
Oh, it should be called Jove's tree when it drops forth such fruit.
Give me audience, good madam. Proceed. There he lay stretched out like a wounded knight.
Oh, may it be not a pity to see such a sight.
Pray hold it thy tongue, I prithee, it curvets unseasonably. He was furnished like a hunter.
Oh, ominous, he comes to kill my heart.
I would sing my song without a burden. Thou bringst me out of tune.
What? Dost thou not know I am a woman? When I think, I must speak. Sweet, say on.
You bring me out. Soft, is not he that comes along?
Oh, 'tis he, sleep by and not him.
I thank you for your company, but good faith, I had as lief bid myself alone.
And so had I, and yet, for fashion's sake, I thank you too for your society.
God be with you. Let's meet as little as we can.
I do desire we may be better strangers.
I pray you, mar no more trees with writing love songs in their bark.
I pray you mar no more my verses by reading them ill-favoredly.
Rosalind is your love's name?
Yes, Jess.
I do not like her name.
There was no thought in pleasing you when she was christened.
Of what stature is she of?
Just as high as my heart.
Oh, you're full of pretty answers. Have you not been acquainted with goldsmiths' wives and conned them out of rings?
Not so, but I answer you right, painted cloth, from the which you have studied your questions.
You have a nimble wit. I think 'twas made out of Atalanta's heat. Will you come sit with me? And together we'll rail against our mistress, the world, and all our misery.
I'll chide no breather against the world but myself, against whom I know most faults.
The only fault you have is to be in love.
'Tis a fault I would not trade for the best of your virtues. I weary of you.
By my troth, I was seeking for a fool when I found you.
Why, he is drowned in the brook. Look but in and you shall see him.
There I shall only see my own figure.
Which I take either to be a fool or a cipher.
I'll tarry no longer with you. A farewell, Senor Love.
I am glad of your departure. Adieu, good your melancholy.
I shall go and play the knave with you.
Do you hear, Forrester? Very well. What would you?
What is the clock?
You should ask me what time of day. There is no clock in the forest.
Oh, why then there is no true lover in the forest. Either sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy handle of time as well as the clock.
And why not the swift handle of time? Had that not been as proper?
Well, time travels in diverse paces with diverse persons.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
With my sister, here in the skirts of the forest, like patches upon a jacket.
Be you native of this place?
Aye, as the honey you will see where she is kindled.
Your accent is something much finer than can be purchased in so removed a dwelling.
I have been told so by many, indeed, an old religious uncle of mine taught me to speak. He knew the courtship well, for he fell in love. I have heard him read many lectures against it, and I thank God I am not a woman to be famed with such giddy offenses.
Can you remember any of the principal evils he laid to the charge of women?
There were none principal, each one as halfpence are, and everyone seeming monstrous until my own uncle's fault came to match it.
I prithee recount some of them.
No, nay. I'll not cast away my physique, but on those that are sick. There's a young man that haunts this forest, abusing our young plants, carving the name of Rosalind upon their barks, hanging odes upon hawthorns and elegies on brambles, all forsooth deifying the name of Rosalind. Now, if I could meet this fancy monger, I would give him some good counsel.
I am he that is so love-shaped. I pray you, tell me your remedy.
There are none of my uncle's marks upon you. He taught me how to know a man in love, of which rush of brambles I am sure you are not prisoner.
What were his marks?
Lean cheek, which you have not. Dark eye and sunken, which you have not. An unquestionable spirit, which you have not. Your jacket unbanded, your chains askew, your shoe untied, and everything about you demonstrating a desolate disposition. But you are no such man. You are rather point device in your accoutrements, rather loving yourself than the lover of any other.
My dear youth, I would I could make you believe I love.
Make me? You would rather sooner make her believe that. Which I confess she is more apter to do than confess she does, which is one of the many lies that women still do give their consciences. But, good sooth, are you he that writes the verses wherein Rosalind is so admired?
By the hand of Rosalind, I swear to you, youth, I am that he, that unfortunate he.
But are you so in love as your verses do proclaim?
Neither rhyme nor reason can express how much.
Love is merely madness and deserves as much a dark house and a whip as madmen do. And the reason why they are not so whipped and cured is because the madness is so ordinary that the whippers are in love too. Yet I profess curing it by counsel.
Did you ever cure any so?
Aye, one, and in this manner. He was to imagine me, his mistress, his love, and he was to come every day and woo me, where I, being a Moorish youth, would be effeminate, changeable, liking, longing, apish, shallow, inconstant, full of tears, full of smiles, and for every passion something, and for no passion truly anything, as boys and women are in this aspect alike. Would soon like him, then loathe him, then spit at him, then swear at him, then cough for him, then shoo him away. That I drove my suitor from his mad humor of love to a living humor of madness, which was to forswear the full stream of the world and to live in a nook merely monastic. And thus I take it upon myself to wash your liver as clean as the sound sheep's heart, that there shall not be one spot of love in it.
I would not be cured, youth.
I would cure you if you would but call me Rosalind. Come every day to my camp and woo me.
Oh, by the faith of my love, I will.
I'll go with me then. And by the way, you shall tell me where in the forest you reside.
Will
you go?
With all my heart, dear youth.
Nay. Call me Rosalind. Will you come, sister?